What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Litecoin. Right now we're sitting at $59.66. We're down 2.2%. And what I wanted to do today with you is look at the 4-hour chart. And that's what we're going to be zooming in on first is the 4-hour. Then we're going to work our way out to the 1 day. And I had about 5 things that I wanted to share with you. And first of all, what I want to do, because in this space, in cryptocurrency and in stocks as well, support and resistance is extremely important, along with trend lines and trend line breaks, all that type of stuff you want to learn. But what I want to do is dig in on the 4-hour time frame here and give you all a little bit of a detail of where potential support is and where the resistance areas are. And whenever you're in on the 4-hour time frame, it will just give you more detail for swing trading. And I really like to swing trade or short-term trade. So basically, I will look at the 4-hour time frame, then I'll move down to the 1 hour for my entries when I'm looking at a swing trade. So first of all, what I want to start out with, guys, in the 4-hour time frame now, we are in a short-term downtrend. So we have to be aware of that. Right now, we are trading below our 50 moving average on the 4-hour time frame in pink, as well as this white 200 moving average. We wanted to stay up above that. I think that was significant that we dropped below that, because now we're going to have to break up above each, and that's going to take a significant amount of volume. And as you can see, this entire run up here, once we broke up above the 200, that was about $42. We ended up going all the way up to $84. So it's very significant when we start having candle closes up above it or below it. And then look what happened once we closed below it. We were at $70. We dropped all the way down to $56. So these are the things I'm trying to teach you guys, just to pay attention to moving averages and how price action responds to them. If you're finding good, strong support off it, and it's a higher low, that may be a good area to buy with a stop loss below that. But it's hard to buy right now if you're looking for a position when you have some overhead resistance like we do now. So this is kind of the area we're waiting for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been fighting back and forth with that 200-day moving average, and we're waiting to see what Bitcoin does, and that's going to determine what Litecoin does, in my opinion. So what we're looking at here, as we're seeing here, we've been fighting and chopping back and forth, and this area has been basically between about $62 and $56. There's been a lot of fight in that area. So in terms of support, I'm looking for $57.70 to hold. I don't want to start dropping down below that area, because that then could send us down to the area of around $52.21. And what I also like to look at, I like to basically coordinate, or I like to consolidate all the technical analysis together. I like to see confluence, and what I'm looking for is a Fibonacci level also with support levels. So if we go from our swing low all the way up to our swing high here, what you're seeing is we're fighting back and forth with that 0.5, and that's at $60.20. We have now broken down below that, but we have not candle closed below that. So that's something that we're going to keep our eye on, but that's also coordinating with this $57. So this is an area we're looking to see if we can defend that area and then potentially start making a move to the upside where we can start getting up above $63.40. What I'm going to do is eliminate these as we talk about them, just to get a little clutter off the screen. So that's $63.27 or so. That's going to be the next area we'd want to get up above, and then support we would be looking at around that $57 range. But guys, if we do lose this 0.5 at $60 and we start having candle closes below it, I believe we potentially could get a bounce off that 0.618, and that is at $54.48. Overall, we're moving into this Bitcoin halving, and this really may be the last major retracement that we have before we start pumping again into that halving. And in just my opinion, guys, it doesn't happen all the time, but for Bitcoin, a lot of the times what the whales will like to do is a couple months out, they will dump the prices really hard. They will buy more, and then we'll have a run up into the Bitcoin halving, and then a lot of times you'll have a sell-off after that. Not saying it has to happen or that's going to happen, but that's definitely something that I'm keeping my eye on. I'm not extremely fearful. This is still a normal correction for Bitcoin and Litecoin. A lot of times we can get into that 0.618 after having a really strong move like this. Now, if we lose the 0.618, then that's when I really would start looking at an intermediate term downtrend, and then we could start getting into a little bit more trouble. But we have, from where we're at now, down to that $54.48 is where I want to see respected. So let's get this Fibonacci off there. And then, guys, the support levels would be at 52.21. Then it'd be at 48.87, and these are all the areas. I just want you to write them down on your paper so you can look for them or you can set alarms for them. And then it'd be 43.68, and then ultimately down here around that $38.58, which I don't believe we're going to get to at this point right now, obviously. But if you look at this, we are in that short-term downtrend right now, and it's been pretty aggressive. And as you see the trend changing here, our downtrend, when we get pushed to the downside, it's on heavier volume, and then our reactions are on lighter volume. And that's actually a bad sign, because that can show that the downtrend is really taking hold right now, just like this. On heavy volume, downtrend, heavy volume, and then right here we had this reaction, but it wasn't on a ton of volume. And that's typical for a downtrend. And an uptrend, when you're making these moves, you see the big stick of volumes, you're going to have these big sticks, and then when you have your retracement, the volume's going to dry up. So it's the exact opposite in a downtrend. Look at this. We had this big push down on heavy volume right here, and then we had our little reaction. And now we've just been moving sideways, and we've been fighting basically between this area right here. So we'll say $56, then we'll throw another one right up here, and we're going to go off about 63.53. So that's the area, that's the channel now that we're bouncing back and forth in, and we're either going to need to break to the upside out of that or start testing some of these lower areas. So next, what I want to do is go out to the 1 day with you guys. And if you get something from these, you like me covering Litecoin, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let me know what you guys are doing with Litecoin right now. Are you in a position? Are you looking for a position? Do you want to buy? Are you just a hodler? Let me know down low. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on it. So next, let's go out to the 1 day time frame and take a look at this. And remember, everything is based off Bitcoin, guys. You got to pay attention to that. Always do your technical analysis on Bitcoin first. So as we're looking at Litecoin here, what you see is this battle over the 200-day moving average. So we had a few days where we wicked down below it and the bulls stepped in. But what happened was we had a nice candle close, and we didn't get follow through with it. This was a bullish engulfing candle that we ended up having. We closed up above the 200, and now we've had a lot of fight and indecision. The following day was a doji candle there, so you're just really fighting back and forth. That's the bulls and the bears fighting back and forth. But for me, we really need to hold this 200-day moving average, and that's at $58.61. I want to throw an alarm on there, so if we start dropping below that, I'll be alerted. Let's create that, and that's how you create them on TradingView. And then to the upside, I would want my alert to be at around $62.06 right there. So we'll throw another alarm in, and this is how I like to play, so you're not tied to your charts all day long, because I have another job, I have another business that I work on, and I'm not around my computer all the time. So I have to basically listen to these alerts. Once the alerts go off, I get an email, then I can make my moves from my phone. I also keep TradingView on my phone. I think that's something that can really help you as well. But you know what's significant is we've lost this 20-day EMA. That is now acting as overhead resistance, and we're starting to cross down through the 50. Then we also have our 40 moving average that we have now lost. That's acting as overhead resistance, and that 50 is acting as overhead resistance. For support, what we're looking at is this 200-day moving average, and that 0.5 or that 0.618 Fibonacci level is what I'm looking at for support. And same deal, just to show you on the 1 day time frame with our Fibonacci. If we go from our low, swing low up to our swing high, so you can see right here is that 0.618 at 54.59, and then this is the battle over the 0.5, which is a common retracement. Especially in cryptocurrency, guys, it can get so crazy. In the traditional stock market, you'll get a lot of retracements to that 0.382 is a hot spot, and that 0.5, sometimes into that 0.618. But cryptocurrency, the pumps are harder and the retracements are harder, and that's something that we just have to realize and we have to be aware of. You know, but this is a typical correction for Litecoin. If we go back over here, just to give you a few examples, because I like to show you things. I want to teach you as we're going through this. I just don't want to tell you what I'm doing or whatever. I want to teach you so you can do these things on your own. So just here, as you see, once we had this major pump that came in, this whale manipulation, we'll go from our low to our high. You can see we retraced all the way down to that 0.886 before we started moving again. So this is extremely common. When you pump hard, you have to have a big, deep breath. But the trend, you know, it changed, guys. As you can see here, for 6 months, we were having lower highs and lower lows, and then we started to put in those higher highs and higher lows. Now, this is why it's such a critical area. We don't want to start in that downtrend again where it turns into an intermediate term downtrend, because the longer that trends last, the stronger they are a lot of times. It's like a river. Once it gets moving, it wants to continue in that direction. And with trends, though, they can last for years, or they can stop at a minor trend. They can go for 3 weeks and then they're done, just like this. This could just be a short-term downtrend, and then we start to make our next move to the upside, or this could be an intermediate-term downtrend, and we really start getting worked, just like we did over here. Once we topped out, this was 6 months of an uptrend. You can see here we started to really have those sharp sell-offs on heavier volume, and then we started to get pushed to the downside. So in my opinion, we've worked hard to get up above and trade up above this 200-day moving average since, we'll call it, let's see here, guys, this has been since about January. So all February we were trading up above the 200. So if we start breaking down below that, that's going to be a sign of weakness. And you never want to try to catch falling knives. You want to wait till you have that bottom, you start to see recovery, and then that's the time to jump in. So, just be careful in this space, guys. That's the main thing that I can tell you, is try to be as careful as you can in this space and really protect your position, protect your capital. That's what you want to look at the most. So didn't want to make this too long, guys. I apologize for rambling, but really look at those areas. I wanted to dig into it with you. We're just in a sticky spot right now, and that's the best thing I can say. We're in a sticky spot. We have to see if the bulls are going to defend this 200, or if we're going to start getting smashed down through there, and we're going to have to look to that 0.618 for some type of support. But all eyes on Bitcoin. That's my opinion. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless you all. Take care and be safe out there.